I'm a victim, and I'm sure many of you are too. Us students and families caught the disease of believing that college tuition is too high. We are sick with this notion because of the problems in the rhetoric. The specific problem is that there is a lack of communication between the two sides, colleges and families. This leads to families being misinformed and fearful of the cost. In order for families to be less stressed when hearing the cost of college, colleges need to focus more on educating the people about financial aid. People are misinformed about paying for education for a variety of reasons. According to Sarah Carr of a 2013 Hetchinger report, some people have a lack of resources, so they do not understand the options when paying for college. Others are influenced negatively by the media portrayal of paying for college. For instance, Yahoo.com posts news stories with alarming titles, which leads people to instantly believe that paying for college is an impossible task. What happens when there is a lack of knowledge? Well, people become frustrated and fear college expenses. Just as in Johnson's The Ghost Map, fear leads people to believe the miasma theory because it was the most obvious-seeming theory. Similarly, in Mnuchin's The Panic Virus, people were latching onto the idea that vaccines caused autism because it justified their fear of how the disease was spread. With college cost, it is unfortunately no different. People automatically fear the cost of college because looking at the cost alone can be shocking. Likewise, the media like Yahoo.com is easy to come by and understand, so people tend to adopt the same views and look no further. It also matches their preconceived fears about the cost of college. These feelings spread, passing on the disease and lack of knowledge on how to cure it. The appeal to fear needs to end in order to stop the transmission of the destructive belief that college is unaffordable. Thankfully, there is a solution. Families need to be better informed by colleges. This can be done if colleges better present their information. For instance, I previously spoke about how colleges use an award notification letter filled with illogical fallacies, which deceive people into paying more than they have to and thus making them angry at the cost. However, these illogical fallacies are preventable. Colleges should clearly define on the letter that a loan is borrowed money that needs to be paid back so it is not confused as an award. Furthermore, colleges should emphasize that a loan is not a bad thing, but is rather a rewarding investment, like a 2011 Wall Street Journal article points out. Doing so will help to eliminate people's preconceived notions about the dangers of loans, as well as point out how families can afford college. Also, with better presented information from the college, the source of the disease, colleges will appeal more to ethos, so people will be more willing to trust them as opposed to second source media. Furthermore, colleges have to start clearly displaying on their website and other resources where tuition money is going because it would show the need for the high cost. For example, a 2009 New York Times article explains that some of the tuition money goes to professors' research, which allows the students to be taught the most up-to-date and accurate information. The article also points out that money goes to security. So if families are informed that they are paying for education quality and safety, among other benefits, they will be better able to understand the need for the high cost of tuition. Colleges also need to directly outreach to the community to present information on a personal level. This would be particularly effective in low-income areas where resources on higher education are limited, according to Sarah Carr. If representatives from colleges, specifically from the Financial Aid Office, visited schools across the nation in all areas, students would be able to learn about the available options, like scholarships and grants, and paying for college before they actually begin applying and see the cost. Doing this would prepare students and families for the high price. Some may argue, however, that regardless of how much they know about paying for college, paying hundreds of dollars is still going to be a lot of money. And my response is that yes, I do believe it is a lot of money. However, after doing my research over the course of the semester, I am now not as frustrated by it because I understand that there are multiple options when paying for college and the payments are small in comparison to the value of the education that is received. So, students and families, take a deep breath and relax. Paying for college may seem daunting when looking at the cost alone. However, if colleges better present their information and you understand the whole picture, affording college can be done without fear.
Created using Powtoon.